Hello and welcome back to another special edition from Captain Kirk Productions. I'm Kirk, and today we have our friend of the show, Drake, back on. Say hello.
Hello, happy to be here.
Good to see you. And also Dr. Burba.
Super excited to be here.
Now, how many appearances does this make for you on the show or the channel?
I don't know.
6?
6?
Oh, wow.
5 or 6? The good ones, mainly.
Yeah. All the top rated ones.
Pretty much all the highest rated episodes.
Right.
Well, maybe more than 6, actually.
Wow, this has been good. So today we were talking about Star Wars comic number 1, and we have our Han Solo Funko Pop. Maybe explain. This is yours, obviously. Maybe explain how you got it.
Yeah, I won it in a contest. I forget the contest, but it was actually Kirk's for a while, and I won it.
Yeah, basically, I bought this, wasn't going to keep it. I was probably going to give this to Drake anyway, and I was like, in our little friendship text thread that I like to call it, I was like, hey, whoever gets closest to what my new grade is on my Hulk 181 that we saw last video, whoever's closest to what the new grade is gets to keep it, and you guessed what?
8.
8. Oh, loved an 8, but 7.5. You were still the closest, so you got it. So congratulations, there's your price. Han Solo approves. Great. All right. So you have a lot of interesting facts about this book. There's a lot to go with here. So take it away.
Yeah. So first, I would like to say, huge Star Wars fan, like probably half the world.
The good half.
The good half of the world. And go on the record by saying I was always a prequel fan. I know some of you are just now coming around, but I like to admit that.
Okay.
There's a lot of haters out there for a while, but I feel like some are jumping on board now.
Is that due to how terrible the 7 and 8 are?
I think
people
so.
are like, hey, you know what? The prequels aren't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think they buy into George Lucas's original vision, even if the actual end product was crap, maybe for some of it. But I did like Last Jedi. Sorry, guys.
Okay, we were going to talk about this in another video, but I will vouch that you, aside from maybe my nephew, are the biggest and most knowledgeable Star Wars fan that I know.
Yeah.
So I remember distinctly before Last Jedi was released, you sent us a YouTube video to study and learn from going into the movie, and this was like a 25-minute video, and you sent it to me and your brother and probably some other people, and they kept referencing a certain abbreviation. Do you remember what that was? Remember what we're talking about? It was basically for the Death Star battle. What's that? What's it called?
It was it? What was it? It was basically the time period that ladders up to the Battle of Yavin. Right?
Yes.
So what is that? BBY.
BBY. So my son, me and his brother Nick are watching this video, and the whole time they keep referencing this BBY, and I'm watching it, and I'm just the whole time I'm not really paying attention to what they're saying because I'm just thinking, what is BBY? So we asked you about it. Your brother said the exact same thing. He's like, yeah, the whole time I was just wondering what's BBY. Yeah, got nothing out of the video. So yeah. Anyway.
Well, any of you watching that are huge Star Wars fans, I hope to hear from you in the comments because we need more super fans on this YouTube channel.
Exactly. All right. So talk to us about Star Wars 1.
Well, first of all, obviously this is Kirk's Captain Kirk Star Wars number 1.
Yeah.
But I remember when he bought it.
Yeah.
I was super excited and couldn't wait to see it. And I've had it out, opened it up, and read through it, and it's awesome.
I would like to say that I bought this while driving. Not necessarily, I didn't buy it while I was driving, technically. So this was an eBay auction, and I bid, I don't know, it was like $80 or something. And the auction ended at such a weird time. I had just gotten off work and I was driving home, and I kept checking to see if people were going to outbid me, and no one did. So I guess I did win it in my car on my way home driving, but I wasn't actually bidding. So disclaimer. safe driving is always a priority for me.
Right. Yeah.
So, all right, go ahead.
All right, so let's just start off with just looking at the cover. I mean, this is awesome. So just a little bit of context. So this was 1977, a month. So this was released a month before the actual movie came out into theaters and wowed the audiences. So there's definitely a lot of variation between this comic and the movie. And those of you that are familiar with the movie, you'd probably see some oddities already. But before we do that, we're going to hand it over to Eric to see if Dr. Burba, see if he can see all the different variations that exist in the cover. Ready, guys?
All right. Let's see if I can pick them out.
Okay.
All right.
Everyone at home, go ahead and make your list.
Okay. Leia's got some red hair, weird stuff going on. I don't see her typical cinnamon bun things. Mm-hmm. Is this a strange thing? Okay. Obviously, the green helmet for Darth Vader. I'm assuming that's Darth Vader. I don't know what that one is. You have the X-Wings, the TIE Fighters. Maybe that's a Y-Wing, just from a weird angle. But, I don't know. I'm not seeing... Red lightsaber, maybe? Instead of blue.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got a pink... Han Solo has a pink gun, but that's just maybe creative. Luke Skywalker looks like Conan the Barbarian.
Yep.
That's about all I got.
Well, so you did some good work. Okay, everyone out there, view it again. So yes, so the red lightsabers. That's not the green helmet. The other thing is that the Star Wars logo, the Star Wars, typically the first and last letter, and that's
you're right, the S's don't cover up the rest of the words,
right? So those are really I think you nailed the rest of them. And then another fun fact that in the actual comic, they refer to it as the Comic Force, which of course you never hear in any of the movies. It's just the Force,
right?
So that's pretty.
Is that kind of like Space Force?
Space Force,
yeah.
Space Force. This is a prequel to Space Force.
This is Comic Force.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we should.
The other cool thing was that at the time Marvel produced this, they were actually in a little bit of financial trouble. So this is kind of known like the Star Wars comic run basically financially saved Marvel during that time because they were having some trouble. The movie was a huge hit. People bought the comics and kind of helped Marvel in their time of need.
So, you may or may not know this. So, just a question. Just a question. So, the reason why there's so many differences between this comic and the movie is that because they were just kind of like, hey, here's kind of the outline of everything, go to work, do your thing without like a whole lot of detail? Or do you know why there's so many differences from this cover to the movie, even though they're only a month apart?
So comment if I'm wrong, but I think why there's so much variation because I think the artist was just given a bunch of photos from the set, and he did the best he could.
I think you're right.
And then, but some of the detail he didn't necessarily know, and just produced it without. I think that's. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's it.
So, it's been a while since I've kind of brushed up on this, but I think also when I forget who actually came up with the idea that hey, we should do this comic. I don't know if it was Stan Lee or somebody had to convince Stan Lee, but like it took some convincing because they're just like, I don't know. And eventually they're like, okay, we're going to do it. And then obviously it was a huge success. So obviously sold a lot of issues. So maybe would you like to talk about some of the different variants that you've discovered? Yeah, so
what we learned, right, was that there's, I think, basically 8 different versions of this this comic produced in 1977. and some of them have a diamond shape up here. And I think that was for Marvel to understand where it was being distributed from, so they could figure out their best distributors or whatever. So there's the diamond up here, and then the barcode down here. And the only big variation was the 35-cent variant, which is worth a whole lot more.
It's a crap ton of money,
right?
For a high grade.
And there's only a small number of those actually in circulation.
So basically, with the 35-cent variant, there was a lot of different test markets that they were like trying to see if people would actually buy, pay more for the comic kind of thing is why they did it. So like I was telling you guys before, Toledo was one of the test markets, and I don't know if it was North Carolina somewhere, Raleigh, Greensboro, something like that. And there was a few other places I can't recall off the top of my head. So we're in Ohio, and obviously they were distributed in Ohio. So from time to time they come around this area, but I personally have never seen one. But yeah, if you have a 35-cent variant, you have a lot of money if it's in really good shape. So that's really cool. So was there any other variants that you recall?
Nope. I would say that, it would be cool. You only have the one Star Wars.
Yeah.
It'd be, and your dad didn't collect the Star Wars copies.
He only had like issues 16 through 18 or something. So I don't know why he just bought those or what.
It would be cool to bridge the gap.
That's because he was a Trekkie.
He was a Trekkie.
Yeah.
He was a hardcore Star Trek fan.
A lot of Star Trek comics, not a lot of Star Wars comics. But
well, all right.
That's another video altogether.
Yeah.
But
anyway, super cool comic. The history about it is just awesome. And it's funny. I'm surprised that some of these comics aren't more valuable, but I think it's just because of the amount.
Yeah.
I think they said that this was the copies produced here for Star Wars #1, one of the more abundant copy produced than in any other Marvel comic produced. It's close. It's up there, and maybe that's why the value is not as high.
Yeah, it's just
a lot in circulation.
I don't know what the market is on them currently. I know at one time, if you had like, I want to say a 9.8, 9.6, it was like $1,000 book.
Yeah.
But lower grade stuff's not. I mean, a few $100s, which is still, decent chunk of money. So.
But forget about the money. The comic is awesome. It's awesome. I have a red lightsaber in Luke's hand.
It's a pretty interesting cover
awesome.
with all the differences on it. So, was there something you want to add?
So knowing the value of what it would be if it was graded, what's your plan for this? Are you going to get it graded at any point in time and encased, or are you just going to leave it as is?
Well, I think what I really would like to do is have some of the actors from the film sign it. I don't think what's his name? Not
Peter
Skywalker. No,
he's at all.
Mark Hamill. Yeah, Peter Mayhew. Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford. They don't really do a lot of events for signings, so maybe I will at some point get them to sign stuff. But if not, I probably will just get a slab just to get it slab because it'd be kind of cool.
Cool.
But I will point out that I saw an auction probably about a year ago. Maybe it was like a charitable auction. That had like almost every cast member, like the main cast members from Star Wars, signed the book, and it was a 9.8. And at this charity auction, it sold for like $16,000. I want to say, maybe more. I know it was around 16 to 18 grand. So that's pretty cool, and that'd be really awesome to have like everybody, especially like Carrie Fisher. Obviously, she's gone
absolutely.
Now.
Yeah.
So, and Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford aren't really that young either. So,
those spring chickens.
Right. So that's kind of my plan. But is there any other facts you have about the book you'd like to share with us?
Nope. Let us know if you like Last Jedi. Big supporter.
All right. Well, that's going to lead to another video that we're going to have to record. So thank you guys for checking us out, and we'll see you soon.